Welcome back to the channel. We're both really excited to introduce something special for 2025. We've got the brand new that's awkward. The new Square to Square Max from Odyssey Golf. It's one thing to copy a concept. It's another thing to copy a direct product, like literally copy a direct product.
I'm a Callaway staff professional. I'm supposed to be using an Odyssey putter. Now I actually am using an Odyssey putter. Pretty groundbreaking technology.
I mean,
that
it's like we've seen this before.
Has hit the golf world here. Yeah. And if those of you watched the PGA Tour event this weekend, I think it's the first time we finally seen one in play.
Still obviously putt for 4 feet.
Yikes, Kyle. I mean, obviously, what do they say about imitation?
The finest form of flattery is imitation.
Yep. So the cool thing right now in the golf world is zero torque putters. And I know we've kind of dove into the technology of L.A.B putters for quite a while now.
Almost 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like every single week on tour, you're seeing more putters use it. I mean, most notably, J.J. Spawn played really good at the Players. Well, he's played good all year. Has a DF3, or as we'd say, an Odyssey Square to Square in the bag. No, DF3. But let's talk a little bit about why do we think Callaway or Odyssey going this route and heavily going this route.
A couple of reasons. One, L.A.B's not paying. Again, the influencer thing's its own thing.
Yeah.
Tour players, they're not paying anybody right now, I think, with the exception. I think Adam Scott's got some royalty in the company. But if you look across your strokes gained putting and then what's been happening basically now for 2.5 seasons on the PGA Tour, your guys are under contract and breaking contract to use another company's putter based off the technology. And statistically, they're getting better.
Yep.
You know, if we take a look at Ricky Fowler, obviously, he went from being one of the best putters on tour to Stevie Wonder and couldn't make a putt to save his life.
He struggled a few years ago.
Went to the Jailbird, found a little bit of success, but even with the Jailbird, I mean, it was almost like a couple months of success, and then it fizzled out, where now the putting's great. It's everything else kind of fizzled out for him.
It's the purest definition of golf.
Yeah.
Right there.
So he switched to a DF3. Lucas Glover was on the brink of almost retirement or stopped playing golf on tour.
Yeah, with the putter
Switches to the broomstick Mez, wins back-to-back going into Wyndham, and obviously still playing great golf. Almost won at the Players. You know, had a good showing, and Sunday didn't quite work out, but that's okay. And LPGA Tour, which doesn't get talked about enough, is there is a ton of these in play right now out there. I mean, Titleist staffers, TaylorMade staffers, Callaway. I mean, everybody's using them out there. It's pretty wild to see. So I think, like, as a company, when you've got your top seeded players not using your product, you've got to do something, right? Within the legal limits, because obviously there's still patent infringement and all that stuff behind the scenes. And I guess that's my point to this whole thing with the Odyssey is what's the most elegant way? They're a little bit they need to kind of eat their own shoe for a second, because what a lot of people don't know is Odyssey sued.
I haven't used that phrase before.
Yeah. Odyssey sued L.A.B or sent a cease and desist for
the broomstick. Yeah.
They found a loophole to trademark a term that's used to describe a putter.
A putting style.
Yep. So now no company except for Odyssey can do broomstick. What's ironic is the day they sent the cease and desist, they came out with Square to Square, which is anti-torque technology, which Odyssey's is toe-up technology. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But so now the rest of the industry, they have to call broomstick putter sweepers.
Yeah.
And then fast forward a few months later, and now we've got a real kind of dick move of okay, well, we're going to copy and paste what you did, but put an insert on it.
Yeah. Miles did a great job of unveiling this new Odyssey here for us, but we're not kidding. It's not out yet. We can't show an official photo, but this is exactly what it looks like.
Yep.
Obviously, the alignment aids are going to be a little bit different. Might be foreshadowing here a little bit. But this is, I kid you not, like this, the Square to Square has been out since February.
Yeah.
Which I would say in the shop here, it's had a little bit of success.
Yeah, because price point wise, you're at $300.
It's hard to beat. And then next thing you know, we saw pictures of more square to square options coming out. One of which has been canceled for obviously
reasons.
for not obvious reasons, because clearly they let the
Image slip out.
Yep. And then we saw this back in February, which is literally just a copy and paste of the DF3. I would say the only difference is the hole that's in the back is not going to be in the Odyssey. So, insert the James Franco
Same.
but different. I'm not gonna sit here and fully knock Odyssey, because we've seen this in the putter world. Everybody copies everybody.
Oh yeah, I think people may have heard of a guy named Scotty Cameron.
Yeah,
Got famous for a head shape called a Newport,
yeah,
aka the Ping Dell head from 1959.
correct. I mean, so everybody has copied Ping. I mean, when it comes to putters, and obviously mallet putters are extremely popular now. I mean, it's funny enough, like you see like Luke Clanton's playing some of the best golf in the world, and he's kind of switched to that Futura style mallet. It's almost like every player, like once they get to tour and they get their hands on a Circle T, they get a Futura in their hand, right? It's almost like now in the zero torque world, it's like once they get zero torque in their hand, they're switching to a DF3, right? And then obviously L.A.B had their new Oz come out, which
has an insert.
Which I feel like I thought I was going to see more companies kind of copy that. Now Odyssey's not the only company now that has dove into the zero torque.
No, we've seen
now
it.
no other company can call it zero torque.
Yeah.
But we've seen Gary Woodlands using a Scotty Cameron.
Yeah, Proto. It's like the X12, I guess, or the Z12, whatever they're going to end up calling it.
Yep. We have Corey Connors. It's not a zero torque, but he's using a Ping proprietary.
The Onset.
The Onset is what they're calling it.
Victor Hovland even dabbled with it for a couple weeks.
Yep. We'll get into that, because like how insane is that he won this weekend?
Yeah.
But and then now we're starting to see some spiders from TaylorMade. So I think every company now realizes that it's worth diving into.
Yeah, and I guess like our point to kind of almost making fun of Odyssey a little bit. Obviously, we're still going to sell them because
I say the squares. There's a market for it.
It's still a good product. However, at least every company so far hasn't hit the copy and paste button.
No,
like the Spider looks nothing like any L.A.B putter. The even rolls, even though they're rough,
they're not zero torque. We put them on the revealer.
It's not even close.
They're not good.
But doesn't look like anything, So at least,
and that's relative. Only you, the golfer, can say if it's good for you or not.
So I guess
but we're talking about technology.
I guess that's kind of like our gripe with it is, it's one thing to copy a concept. It's another thing to copy a direct product, like literally copy a direct product.
Yeah. Well, I think we're kind of sugarcoating that now, because you bring it into this point. So I have my L.A.B putter here, right? I went the custom route, so full custom lie angle, custom length. Obviously, L.A.B stands for lie angle balance. So lie angle is the most important part of the whole zero torque world, right? You have to make sure it's fit for you to truly get the best out of the technology, right? I went the custom route. I think what is this? 650?
$639.
$639
shipping.
I just went with the Acura upgrade, not the TPT. And then we have the new Odyssey, which I believe is going to be that same 300 to 350 range.
Yeah, I think 359 for the max.
Do we think, let's just call it $300 cheaper? Do you think the Odyssey will pull from the L.A.B market? Because the Square to Square's been out. You've been doing putter fittings. We're still outselling Square to Square with L.A.Bs.
What's the best way I can put it? I would say the best concept that I could relate it to is it would be the equivalent. You can go to Applebee's and get a steak, or you can,
Don't.
or you can
We're
go.
going to get the Applebee's crowd on us.
That's fine. You can go get a steak at Applebee's for $20, or you can go to a Michelin star restaurant and get a A5 Wagyu steak.
They're both steak.
They're both, technically speaking, they are both steak. Quality wise, it's, because one's milled.
So the Odyssey don't have the meats, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But one's fully milled and one's a casting with an insert, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the labs are independently weighted. So every putter is hand weighted to ensure balance. The Odysseys are
Odyssey, you cannot adjust your lie angle. Yeah, you can't adjust your lie angle. They're all going to be 71.
If you do the adjustment with the lie angle with the way the putter's weighted and you bend it too upright or too flat, it comes out of balance.
Yeah, it'll go backwards.
It's again, it's kind of tough because it's the same concept, but it's not the same.
Nothing,
putter.
yeah.
Because one's milled, one's cast.
So you're saying, long story short, there's a $300 difference in technology between the two.
I would say yes, and it's like with anything, whether it's cars, whether it's shirts, apparel, golf bags. There's always going to be people that are going to go for the budget option, and that's perfectly fine. That's
I mean, I think we're going to sell a ton of them.
That's literally why it's there.
I think I will say I would not be so harsh on Odyssey if they just came out with this originally.
Yep.
Because I think the other square to square models, like the Jailbird, has been popular. But I don't think the number 7 in their blade has really done it.
That's kind of flatlined a little bit.
It's kind of flatlined. I think if they just kind of, if you're going to come out with and call it the similar technology, why are you just now copying them?
Well, and then if you look at the grip they're debuting with the putter, the actual grip is the pistol press, but with an Odyssey logo.
Yeah. So, and that's so. I would say. I think technology-wise, we cannot call these the same putter. They're the same looking putter, so therefore, I'm not going to be harsh on Odyssey and call this a budget DF3.
No, because it's different, and that's like I mean, we get to pick fun and have fun with the conversation, 100%. But it's still going to fit a part of the golf market that wants it.
I'm a Callaway staff professional. Supposed to be using an Odyssey putter. Now I actually am using an Odyssey putter. No, but I'm using my Lab, right? Am I going to go into the Odyssey?
FA.
Am I going to go into the Odyssey one coming out? No. Just because I can't get I play a 69-degree lie angle. I can't get that with an Odyssey stroke lab or not stroke lab, square to square. So it kind of defeats the whole purpose. Right. Mm-hmm. Like I love the Jailbird. I was using a Jailbird counterbalance before I switched to the Lab. And when they came out with the Jailbird, I was like, oh, maybe I can go back to using an insert putter. And when they were like, no, it comes at 71-degree lie angle. And I'm like, then that just defeats the whole purpose. So, I think there's markets for both.
Yep.
I mean, because Lab, I'll be honest. I'm so happy I have my Lab putter, and I feel bad for people buying Labs right now because they're having to wait 8 to 9 weeks, which I'm going to call Lab out on that. That's just not acceptable. They need to speed up their lead times. So I think you might get a lot of people like that. I'm a type of person, when I want something, I want it.
Want it now.
I want it now. So if someone's not crazy about the whole lie angle part and getting it fully customized, I could probably see them buying the Odyssey before the Lab. So it'll go both ways.
Yep.
It'll go both ways.
There's a Honda Civic, and then there's a Type R. Both Hondas.
They're both Civics.
Yep.
So, I mean, and obviously, just the entire golf world now is imitation. So, when it comes to technology.
Yeah, so it's not a new conversation. It's just fun because it's current.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there will be buzz around this putter when it comes out here in a few weeks.
We're still going to sell them, and it's just the way it is. Odyssey's still a great brand. Lab's still a great brand. It's just when these conversations come up, we're not afraid to talk about them.
Yep. But anything else we want to close this conversation with?
I think that's it as far as the putters go.
Yeah. I mean, I think long story short, get fit for your putter and figure out which one works best for you. And it doesn't have to be zero torque. Now, I will say the zero torque is popular. And
makes it easy.
It's picking up some steam in the professional golf world for sure. So let's get into some show and tell. Breaking news as of last night. We have here the L.A. Golf driver. I'm going to give the owner of L.A. Golf, or the CEO that did the breaking thing, because he said the quiet part out loud when he did his whole unveiling of it. he called out independent testers and did the quotation marks, and he even said in the unveiling, he goes, independent testers will say what they want, but they're still getting paid under the table by big OEMs, which that was our beef a few weeks ago. So thanks for saying the quiet part out loud. But this is the first driver that a company has put out that's been co-designed by Bryson DeChambeau. So can Bryson yell that this driver sucks?
No, well, I mean, if we can say the quiet part out loud, then why isn't he using it? Not to like steamroll their unveiling last night, but Bryson put it in the bag for 2 rounds and pulled it out and put his Formula Fire back in the bag.
The crank.
So I think it's a cool concept. Like, I like how they're doing, like, by swing speed, you should play this much bulge and roll. And like, there's some tech there, but it's tough because you have a brand that relaunch that's basically did the PXG thing where they threw all their money in everybody's face. And, you know, we got the best shafts, this and that. And then
which their driver shafts.
Their driver shafts are fantastic.
Actually, all their shafts are really
putter
good.
Shafts are great. But then all the players that are on the board don't use their stuff.
Well, Bryson is using his shafts
now,
but DJ has never used the DJ shaft.
But when Bryson was winning, he was using the hazardous T1100.
Yeah, that's true.
So like it's one of those things where it's just tough. Because do I think it's a great looking driver? Heck yeah, it looks sweet.
So I will say where I think they might be able to win with this concept is the driver face technology, which they're calling it AI face or something like that. The driver face technology it has bulge and roll. So based off your club head speed will determine which face you need to play. So, and I think that's actually really important because, you know, if you're swinging 80 to 90 miles per hour, you should not be playing the same face that someone swings
120.
120. You're just going to have just crazy different spin characteristics. Oh my gosh, words are tough. But so like I did their AI fit thing, and essentially it said based off of all the parameters, I got the 10-10 head is the one that works for me, which is club speeds between 115 and 120. It recommended 9 degrees aloft with their which funny enough with the DJ shaft. Now, before I would put my Venta stuff in the bag in the Paradigm, I was playing the L.A. Golf DJ shaft, which I liked a ton. So I think I'll give them credit. I like how they did something different.
Oh, yeah.
It's just we got to figure out. I want to see what this whole bulge and roll thing is.
Yeah.
I want to see if it actually works.
Well, I think what L.A. Golf has to do is figure out who they are too, because they've tried 3 different business concepts now, and they've all kind of
the putters flopped.
They bought one of the best putter companies, period, which was Sick.
Yeah,
SIK putters, not SYK.
SYCK.
But they bought them and immediately trash canned everything, and we're going to make it better, and it flopped.
Yeah,
and tour players like Latin Griffin, Bryson are still using.
I just feel like 3D printed putters are just not.
Yeah,
they just don't have that feel.
And now you've got a driver.
It didn't feel like a $600 putter
that Dustin Johnson put in play, immediately pulled it out. Mm-hmm. Bryson co-designed it, doesn't use it, and the biggest pushing the driver right now is John Daly.
Yeah,
which is cool. Like he's got the Newton shaft.
He has his own market.
But there again, he's using an L.A. head with a Newton shaft.
Well, he even said it's like in the promo that the owner of CEO of L.A. Golf, not Lab, L.A. Golf. He said that he goes, "How many of you are buying a $600 driver right now with that comes like all the stock shafts?" He goes, "They're $10 shafts. That's how much they cost to make." And then he goes, but then you got to spend another $300 to put a good shaft in it. Now, the funny enough is like when you go in and build this, the only I would say standard shafts they're offering are the A series, which like that's a great shaft. I mean, that's a $280 shaft.
Yep.
Retail.
Basically, it's the old Matrix line.
Yeah. So like he kind of has a point there, right? Like if you buy the stock option,
you get a watered down shaft, which is what we talked about all the time.
Yeah, and then if you buy like their custom one, you either choose the Bryson or the DJ. which I think they're only upcharging like $180. So like,
Yeah, which isn't bad.
these are $659. I mean, so
right on par with everybody.
yeah. I mean, their big salesmanship is like they're knocking down the stock shaft manufacturers. So, but I mean, we'll have to figure out. We're gonna have to do another one of these when we actually
Get our hands on it.
Get our hands on it. So we are still an LA Golf account. So I'm sure we'll be able to get one soon.
Yep.
So
Not bad, but we'll see.
back to normal show and tell procedure. POV, you're a guest at a country club, and clearly he has 50 tees in his bag.
I love this.
Oh, this is, if you're not doing this, then, I will say if the tees are ugly, I don't care.
If you're serious about it.
If the tees are ugly, I'm not stuffing my golf bag.
The first time I ever went to Pinehurst, I did this.
Yeah.
I asked the guy, I said, are the tees free? He goes, yeah. I said, well, golf is 300, merchandise was 200, lunch was 65.
You were justifying your
I was
own.
like, so can I get a bag full of them? Yeah, take as many as you want. Perfect.
Yeah. Pinehurst is a good place to do it because Pinehurst, every single golf course has their own tee.
And hotel.
Restaurant. And so like the...
and cradle.
Yes, the
Based on the
cradle,
season.
the turn house on number 2 and number 4 has their own. So Pinehurst, if you're going to play golf, that's a good spot. Go fill up your golf bag. Cat's out of the bag with those.
Yeah.
But obviously, like when you go to most private clubs nowadays, they all have their own custom tee. Now, I will applaud this course. I think the tee coloring is great. I'm a big fan of wood tees. I do not like the custom plastic tees. That's just like that's my. You will not see me in a tournament have a plastic tee in my pocket. It's like a superstition.
Save the turtles.
So, yeah, no, exactly. Well, no, they're like eco tees now. Right?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I just said. I tried to say allegedly and it didn't come out right.
We're into stuff. All right. But yeah, no, this is it. This is it right here.
Yeah.
I'm still using Tobacco Road tees that I grabbed plenty when I went up there this past fall.
I think I've still got some old Chatham tees from like 2018 and I've been at work there. And then I've got a ton of the Pinehurst ones still.
Oh, funny
and
enough.
some Tree Farm tees.
Yeah, funny enough, I went to when I had to go pick up my belongings out of my truck, got in a wreck last week. So, but I didn't realize it was under my driver's side seat. I had a bag like this big of tees that I've just like collected out of all my golf bags I switched in and out of in my back seat. So, I'm pretty good on tees for a while. But leave it at that.
Yeah, we better.
Yeah. All right.
Well, awesome. Well, if you haven't already, like and subscribe, turn on the push bell notifications, and we will catch you on the next episode.